You're listening to the Chicago Chronicles, Under a Blood Red Moon, a Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th edition actual play by Hollowed Haven Studios. Previously on Under a Blood Red Moon. After waking up at the Sept of the Valkyries, I had an amazing breakfast and talked with the rest of the pack about how much we hate Lydia Ashworth. But then I watched JB do her thing and perform a ritual that opened a moon bridge between the Sept's cairn and the secret one that Lydia has. We brought the bear over to the island, and it was weird taking a step into the Umbra without stepping sideways. We were then attacked by a murder of crows, which were being controlled by a bane, according to JB. Worm-tainted birds and what should be a safe place again. I tried to intimidate them, but almost threw up by clenching the wrong muscles. Stomach is still in knots. But eventually we safely delivered the bear successfully to Argra, and we almost witnessed the ritual that she had set in motion. Thankfully, we didn't. After all that, we went to the Great Cairn where Charlie and I did what he does best and what my tribe is best known for. We, fomented dissent against the leader of a cairn. We started by talking to a pack of Fianna and asked them about Lydia's, deed name. None of them could remember it, so must be nothing, right? But after some time, JB and Twice got permission to set up the ritual to go back to the Valkyries and to get Winnie. But when JB learned that Charlie had flirted with those Fianna, JB frenzied a little, and, well, afterwards, the two were silent for the rest of the day. We talked to the Smiling Buddhas and Webwalker, and we were told that we were making big waves in the right direction for the city. Hopefully this truce will happen soon, so we can do something big and bloody again. That is, if Bear wills it.
Hi, I'm Aernop, and I'm playing Twice Lived, the Hamid Geta Fenris Philodox.
Hello, I'm Bookkeeper, and I'm playing Charlie Fangbanger, the Hamid Glasswalker Galliard.
Hi, I'm Gavin Cash, and I'm playing Eyes in the Dark, Amedis Shadow Lord Arun.
Hello, I am your storyteller Virons. We last left off with you all going to sleep, JB on the Winnebago, and everyone else inside. Eyes, can I have you roll your nightmares for me?
Oh, excellent, sure thing.
As everyone else is awoken slightly by the rustling of, by the sound of wrestling and something hopping off the roof of Winnie.
That is one success.
And you are also awoken in a healthy space, not having a nightmare.
At least not one that'll ruin me for the day.
Yeah. Charlie, check your watch. It's about 4 in the morning.
What the Okay. Charlie will, just in case, grab his pistol and go outside.
Hearing someone else leave, Eyes will slip into the shadows outside as well.
Twice?
Twice will move to follow once the two of them have headed out.
Okay. As you guys step out, you see a figure running off into the forest. You see 2 sets of footprints. One looks like JB's combat boots, for those of you with at least 2 dots in survival.
This way. JB's tracks.
Okay.
It's
As soon as you
Let her.
is there a way to identify the other set of tracks?
can I have you roll bits in survival for the other set? Charlie, you were gonna say something?
I'm waiting for Eyes to see what he can see.
Okay.
And that's a diff 7?
Yeah, diff 7 actually.
Yeah.
As a good difficulty.
1 success.
They seem heavier set than JB's combat boots. They're a little bit smaller in shape, so maybe a male with small feet.
Eyes will pass along the first assumption as well as why he thinks that.
Or it's a woman that is heavier set. You don't know.
Right. Small feet, deeper profile, clear, but don't know whose.
You were running from them. I presume we would have heard something. Either in our ears or in our head.
Agree.
Both tracks are going in the same direction.
Yeah, but the ones that look a little bit heavier to eyes, it looks like they were very carefully taken on the way out as well, to kind of make sure that they would step back in each one in the correct spot. But there's slight mistakes.
This will point out each one that he can find along the way. This isn't right.
Yeah, you get to just the clearing before something in your mind kind of tells you to back off.
Never been one following, the best of impulses, but that sounds like a good one. Eyes will hold at the edge of the line, or the tree line.
Charlie?
Let's go back to bed.
Sure, you don't want to see what it is.
I'm a bad wolf tonight. Sometimes things run, I get tired of chasing them.
Okay.
Eyes will squint. Then over face bear, he'll just... JB, if you need anything, let us know. We're here for you. And then he'll step further away from the tree line, away from the clearing.
Yeah. So everyone else goes back. So everyone goes to bed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Is there like a time that you're wanting to wake up, or have the pack wake up, Charlie?
I will probably get up closer to like 7, and I'll wake everyone else by cooking breakfast.
Lots of bacon, unless you're doing steak and eggs today.
Nah, we'll do bacon and eggs today.
Yeah, lots of bacon yet again.
Yep.
Cholesterol
much
levels
salt.
are through the roof.
Eyes will set himself up with a heaping plate and a fresh cup of coffee. Rumble as he hunches over and begins to eat.
Likewise, Twice will set himself up a decent plate before settling down to eat. What's the game plan today?
Well, I'm thinking we need to get the invitations out for the meeting. I thought we'd finish up with the Valkyries and see if we couldn't get some guidance on where to find these Vervain, what are they called? People who are backing up Lydia Ashworth.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a sequence of dominoes. We knock over the whoozy what's it's to undermine Lydia. We tell the Valkyries, hey, Lydia's had her support knocked out from under her. Now's your chance. We tell the Buddhas, hey, the Sept leader has lost one of his most significant supporters. Here's your big chance to play Kingmaker and let them rule, but you have a say in things. And then we just let everybody figure out the politics of it while we watch.
Sounds like a good plan.
Might end up needing to do a little more than watch, though, considering where the ties that bind, so to speak, in this current situation.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is we will schedule to have the Garu show up, say, the afternoon tomorrow. That way we have a chance, everybody, to hash out their shit, deal with whatever needs to be dealt with, so that by the time the leeches show up at, say, 11 p.m., we're all organized and have that united front that you keep saying we need to have.
Yeah. Sounds solid.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a plan.
Cool. All right. Well, then our first stop of the day is Staples or Office Depot.
Are we buying any supplies, or are we just...
I need a fax machine.
I've had better
Really?
luck with Staples.
Here's a great question. Does Eyes know what a fax machine is?
No. Nice. Kenta nods. A fax machine. Is that like a dictionary, but it just tells you more things that are true instead of definitions?
When we get there, I'll show you. It'll be a learning experience.
Very well. I shall be prepared to learn.
Okay. You guys finish up Charlie, did you make coffee for everyone today or no?
I did.
Did you make compound coffee?
I did not. I did not make the coffee of doom because I got sleep. So
great. Yeah, anybody who actually has the coffee this time, it tastes normal and fine. It's still a little bit chewy, but that's just because Charlie is Charlie.
It's not the worst coffee. Improvement, in fact.
I praise from my resident Shadow Lord. Be still my heart.
Ah. You guys head off to Staples. As you arrive, you're a little bit, you stand out a little bit only because, you're rocking up with the Winnebago.
Yep.
Yeah, you walk in, somebody greets you. It's like, how can we help you today?
I need to send a fax, and really I just need to send the cover sheet. So I just need a cover sheet I can fill out, and then I'll send it.
Yeah, they'll pull out a piece of paper for you. All right, here you are.
Thank you. And I will
fax. You write these facts down for the machine to transfer.
Exactly. And what's going to happen, he says, as he's writing down a date and a time, because they already told him the location. So it's just the date and the time. So what's going to happen is the fax machine is going to call their fax machine, just like I would call you. But instead of talking, they'll send information. In this case, they'll scan this, he says, holding up the cover sheet, and a copy will print out for them.
But the time and date will be incorrect unless it gets there whenever. Is it scheduled to receive at that time and date so that the fact is true?
Time and date are for the meeting, big guy.
But that's not. Is that a fact, or is that? I don't understand.
Charlie,
how do facts figure into this?
Charlie, you get the sense that he might be misspelling the word.
Come over here. So fax in this case is short for facsimile, as in a copy. If you look it up in your dictionary, it's FAC.
Okay, I'll look it up when we get back into Winnie, but I'll take your word. It's a copy.
Yep. This is just a copy where the copy produces on the other end of a phone line.
It sends a copy over the phone line. Do they pick it up and hear it?
Not exactly. Their fax machine will hear it.
And then the fax machine states it proudly.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, as long as they're there to hear it whenever it is announced, I think we'll be set then.
I think so too. We'll set it in the fax machine. He will pat the fax machine. He will pat the fax machine on the head like a good puppy. Say, "All right, be nice to me," and send a message.
Oh, I'm so okay. You know what? I'm so tempted that I'm actually gonna have you just roll straight technology. Oh, you don't have technology.
I do not. I do have Apecraft's blessings though.
No. We'll just do a coin flip. I just want to do a coin flip. I want to see if it's nice to you or not. Indeed, it was.
So say, if it's not, I also have Control Simple Machine.
Yeah.
Look, you.
Yeah. Well, here's the next thing. Do you have the number for the fax machine?
I have every phone number.
You do. I forgot about that. Go ahead and spin your
And they gave me the number
notice
before I left.
Correct. They did. I forgot about that. So yeah, you dial the number. You hear the dial tone. The paper scans through, falls to the floor, or doesn't fall to the floor, but it goes onto the table, and the Staples person goes, "All right, do you want to keep this copy or no?"
I'll keep it, thanks.
Okay, here you are. That'll be about $20.
Canadian? Crikey, all right.
Surely we could have used a payphone. Those are cheaper.
They don't have fax machines attached, but I like
Fax.
I like your creativity.
All right, fax is sent.
All right, that's one. Now we need to get over and talk to the Great Cairn. The Valkyries are north of the city.
Correct. They're just before the mountain range.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be an all-day sucker. So we're gonna hit the Great Cairn. We're gonna go north, talk to the Valkyries, See if they can give us any more information. We're going to come back. We need to swing by the hospital. I want to see if I can find one of the prince's like little half-blood underlings. He wanted an interesting body. We're going to give him one.
How interesting do we make it for him?
Well, it has to be something that goes to an emergency room, not a morgue. So we may stick to fists on this one. Or boots.
Before Charlie, before you finish, like kind of like when you finish your sentence, you realize claws aren't necessarily off the table. You can technically do non-lethal, but you also know you don't want the police called.
Right. Well, I have enough vampire lore that to know that vampires and their minions don't want to call the police most of the time.
We do not have to be seen. We don't even have to use our fists. We can dismember a corpse from a distance using its shadow.
We're not going to dismember anyone. Remember, the body.
A hand, something to get them into a doctor's.
This has possibilities. Tell me more, he says as we get back in the Winnebago.
Well, you see, if you manipulate the shadow of the being, you can manipulate the spirit of the being. And while cutting their shadow isn't necessarily the same as rending their spirit, it does have equivalent physical results. You have to understand how to do so, and you are blessed to be with someone as intelligent and capable as myself who is able to cut a shadow.
Hear that twice? We're blessed.
Fourth smartest member of the pack.
I think looking up the definition of imagination has helped him work on it. That's why he's going to be grinning a little bit as he says that.
All right, eyes. We come back from the Valkyries. We'll see if we can't find one of his little minions. And give you a chance to stretch your stuff.
Stood. It will be traceless. We will have a fine body that will have an interesting wound, and it will be not so life-threatening as to make them die, but to get them somewhere in a very urgent manner.
We do have to put the date, though, somewhere on their person.
Oh, that's fine. I can do that.
And
Okay.
the location.
No, I
Perhaps
gave him
we
the
will leave a
location.
card.
Oh, you did
I
give
made-
me a location. Just not the day. Too many people to keep track of. It all blends together.
All about operational security. Everyone knows the location, but no one knows the time.
All right.
All right, so we're going to take the ferry, I think, over to the Great Cairn.
Yeah, it's still a little bit early in the morning. I'd say about 10 a.m. seems fair. Took you about an hour and a half to drive back into the city and specifically get to the stables. It's about an hour and a half to get to the island and park Winnie as you guys make your way into the Great Cairn. And you guys are allowed in. The spirit barrier draws apart for you, closes behind you. The closer in you get, Charlie's probably the first one to notice it, but the air socially is a bit cold.
A little chilly to any of you.
No, I'm comfortable. I enjoy the chill.
More than usual, yeah.
Keep your eyes open.
You should probably blink so that they do not dry out.
Thank you, eyes.
You're welcome.
All right. As you guys make your way towards the war building, the war room, you see twice. You see the elder that you were talking to yesterday. They nod at you very briefly. You almost miss it, and they quickly resume who they're talking to. It looks like perhaps another person who could be considered an elder, but they don't hold any rank as far as you can tell.
He'll return the nod, brief as it is.
It is ignored. It seems like it's ignored by him.
And he'll just say over face bare, that elder's speaking to the other. So who BP and I spoke to yesterday.
JB.
Or JB.
Did you learn anything good from it?
Just what I told you yesterday about what we learned regarding Little Miss Ice Bitch.
Well, this one needs to go to the Sept leader because they're the only ones who can speak for the Sept, at least for now.
Do we need to
Okay,
hurry them
that's all
along
that.
for that to work?
I don't, unless one of those two was the person in charge. I don't think so.
The one that Twice talked to was not the person in charge. Person in charge has a very stereotypical silver fang look. Like they look a little bit like olden time silver fang as well. So that kind of like Russian blonde look.
Cool. Approach to a respectful distance and stop and wait to be acknowledged.
They're working at a table. It's kind of hard to tell what they're working on because it doesn't, like, none of what's on the table seems to fit together in any way. But he looks, his eyes look up at you, and then he'll lift up a hand and beckon you forward. Speak.
Good morning. We bring greetings from the Smiling Buddha Sept and the Sept of the Valkyries. We are prepared for the three Septs to meet and unite to face the threat of the worm that still lingers in Vancouver. The location has been arranged. The date would be tomorrow in the afternoon, say 4 p.m. Would this be acceptable to you?
He still hasn't looked at you yet, but his hands have stopped moving on what they're working on. Sure, should be fine. Are they all going to be there at 4 p.m.? It's a bit early for the leeches.
No. This will be an opportunity for the Septs to discuss business in order to settle any differences of opinion before the leeches get there, so that the Guru Nation may present themselves as one.
Smart. Deal. I'll be there at 4.
Thank you, Elder.
So will my second in command.
Wonderful.
What were you all doing here yesterday?
Eyes turns to look at Twice.
Was Charlie about to say something?
I was flirting with some Fianna, Elder. Why?
One of the other two speak.
We're figuring out what the disposition of everything was to prepare for this meeting so we'd know what to expect.
He looks you over. This is probably the first time you're seeing his face for this entire conversation. He's looking all of you over. Don't flirt with a Fianna. It gives them bad ideas.
Eyes nods emphatically. It was a bad idea and it had backlashes.
I heard. As for you, as he points at Twice with a finger that has a kind of like a long nail. The other elder spoke well of you and the Therage. If she were to lose her attitude, and now he kind of like points his finger at all of you as back and forth. She loses her attitude. She has a welcome position here in the Sept. Perhaps under Lydia, if she would like that. Why are you chuckling?
I'm not so sure that that's a position she'd willingly take.
The relationship between Lydia Ashworth and our Therage has been strained, but I'm sure they could work something out. I will be certain to convey your offer to her.
I'm
I'd
flattered
like
to be
him to do it, as he points to Twice. Convey my offer. Explain the benefits of joining the Sept, of joining any Sept, and the benefit of learning the position of a right master.
Twice will just nod and say, I will. I'm flattered that we left a good impression, or that our visit was well received.
Good. Dismissed.
There you go.
Follow.
Over Face Bear, I will say Twice. Do you want to talk to that elder who spoke so well of you before we go?
Looked like he was trying to avoid interacting directly, so I don't know if now's a good time.
Okay.
On your way out, Charlie and Eyes, you both realize that Fianna Pack isn't here. Neither is any of their stuff.
The ones we've talked to seem to be hearing more.
Well, we're kind of the last people in the world to accuse other people of being vagabonds, so.
That's what makes it interesting. think everyone runs off quite as quick as we do.
They did seem to indicate that they were going to be here for a bit, at least long enough for me to come back. Huh.
Yet, they are gone.
Feel a voice invading your heads in the channel. And the channel, I should say. You did give them a hint about where her cairn is. You gave them incentive to do something. They leapt. Most likely.
Oh, I'm just glad we're not the only pack that. I'm just glad we're not the only pack that gets crazy ideas and just goes off to do them.
Do you not remember when you were a young Leif? Again, that voice goes to all of you.
Bear, I'm still young. I barely know what I'm doing.
And while I'm older, I also barely know what he's doing.
I also barely know what Charlie does.
Okay.
But if they decided to jump up and do something about a disposition they saw as unjust, that's their right, isn't it?
It is. There's no sense of disapproval or approval from Bear. He's just simply like stating facts at this moment. It's like, you gave them cause, you gave them evidence. They probably jumped and did something, or they're doing something now. You don't know.
I think this is something we should follow up on, Charlie.
Not if we're going to get everything done. We're going to get done today.
I think it can be a surprise for us to hear what happens to the cairn.
And if she has to burn a lot of her resources fending off a group of hopped up young Fianna, that's probably just to our benefit.
Okay. Valkyrie set. That's what's next. That's what you guys have planned.
Yep.
Indeed.
The long drive.
Yeah, it's indeed long. It's going to be about 4 hours in total. So it's going to be about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. if you take a couple stops on the way. And you arrive there, and things are kind of how you left it yesterday. The women are still self-sustaining, but they do notice that JB's not with you, and almost everyone seems a little bit more closed up because of that.
Don't worry, we're not staying long. Wanted to come and give you the date and time.
Surely they have a clock and a calendar.
Oh, my dear boy. Of course we have a clock and a calendar. You just don't see it. As she kind of holds her hands up in the sky and like a little bit of that like praise the sun pose.
So tomorrow, 4 p.m.
Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Everybody else sign off on this time.
I haven't heard any objections yet, and you're the last people I'm telling. Well, next to last. The last people I'm telling are still sleeping. And they're not going to get there till like 11 p.m. You had mentioned a group of people who had been supporting Lydia Ashworth.
One person with the power of a group. Yes.
How detailed? Do you know where they are?
No, but and this woman that you're talking to, she kind of fishes through her bag and pulls out a oh fuck me, I had the word for it. It's the stick that gives you direction to things. In
a dowsing rod?
Yeah, a dowsing rod. Thank you. She gives you a dowsing rod, Charlie. This has a spirit, and that's really all you need to know. Tap into the gnosis towards the when you are in the eastern part of the city, when you are on the borders, and it will give you direction.
Okay. Thank you. So, if all goes well, whatever political support she had outside of the Sept leader is shaky at best and has been undermined. If this works out, she won't have her mystical support either. So, tomorrow, 4 o'clock, an opportunity may present itself, if you have someone who's ready.
She still has the power of Celestian behind her. There is no doubt. Power of a Celestian is far stronger than you were thinking. Your plan is to kill her, then it's going to take more than just your pack.
Well, right now, my plan was for someone to challenge her for her position.
Even then, the challenge is not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable for anybody. We, just as your pack, are likely to lose the challenge. Again, the power of the Celestine is far greater than any of us can imagine, especially when one is backing up a Garu.
There's not much I can do about that, and the person who could do something about that is contemplating her life choices.
You have the tools, you have the means. You need to find a way to support her.
Hang on.
Support.
If JB challenges her, doesn't that mean JB takes over the post?
Yes, unless she willingly abdicates it. Or could choose a successor. Are you all willing to stay in the city?
We must, but
We're not ready to answer that yet.
It is a tough question. It's one that you're going to have to face and answer. Are you willing to stay here? Or must you travel? Fate cannot decide for you. If you let it, you will not like the outcome.
And yet you left out that you were going to have JB do this challenge until right now. So you feel a little bit like the hand of fate right at the moment. Do you know what? We're going to discuss it as a...
She is the one best suited to challenge her. If she is willing to do so, or if she can find a successor before the challenge, then you are all set. It all hinges on her. If she's the one to issue the challenge.
Have you told her this?
No. We have not seen her. Not seen her since.
But you knew, right?
Most guards stay in a sept. No.
You've known since the right where she stood there and talked to her ancestor.
What would you have us do?
Not behave like the fucking smiling Buddhas manipulating people like chess.
Welcome to the politics of a multi-cairn, multi-sept city. Sometimes we have to play chess. We don't like to. We don't like to manipulate. But sometimes we have to. Now, if she is the one who issues the challenge, and if she is the one who succeeds, then we will do our best to support her and accommodate her and make her feel safe, welcome, and warm. And we will make sure that any threats against her in the Great Cairn are taken care of. Is that understood?
And if you had led with that, you might have gotten a lot closer, because if you knew her at all, you'd know that this practice is just as likely to get her to tell you to go fuck yourself.
It is up to her. It is always up to her. It is her choice. We have made that clear. I have constantly made it clear that everything that goes on here is a choice. To all of the women that live here, that work here, that do jobs for us, have a choice. They can leave. I have given all of you a choice to stay and leave. I have only ever made one of you work because at that time, he was a barely known male, only given a chance because he is different, because he is discarded by our own society.
Eyes nods along.
But not by his pack.
No. And that makes you better than the rest. That makes your pack one of the better ones of the majority of the Garu Nation. Better than the majority of the packs in this city. Now, it is your choice to stay or leave in this moment. If you stay, you will not like the consequences of that. If you leave, you might like them better. Because I am nearing a point where I will not be able to exercise self-control. And I can tell that you were reaching that point earlier.
Oh.
I'm saying this for your safety and mine.
One too many secrets this week.
One too many secrets in this whole city.
You have the date, you have the time. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for the fetish.
Callan, it will not work after you have used it. It will work for 4 hours after you start it. You are welcome back under the condition of a better attitude from both of us, from myself and you. Is that understood?
Perfectly.
Thank you. I apologize for the anger and the outburst.
We could all learn to be a little more patient, including me.
And Charlie, just point out here, Oz will kind of lower his voice, not quite enough to really not be heard by anyone. He very much wants to be heard. We have just been mentioned and acknowledged as one of the best packs in this city and perhaps the entirety of our society. I just need you to understand how good we are.
Eyes, big guy, friend of mine. I am left to determine whether that speaks well of us or ill of everyone else.
I think thinking on it too long in that direction may result in negative vibes on either way.
Well, don't want negative vibes.
No. I think we can take a compliment.
4 hours to get back to the city. It's going to be just getting dark, so it'll be a good time to hit the hospital, and then we'll go. He waves the sick, exploring.
Let us be off.
Okay.
The 4-hour drive back will be when Charlie says, "Okay, well, we'll have to talk about it again when JB rejoins us. But what do you think?"
I think we are among the best packs, and I'm very proud of that fact.
I meant about staying in Vancouver. But you're not wrong. Be proud of it.
It would help us not just with our own people, but with the girl, making sure she stays safe and helping where we can. I'm sure Bear would appreciate it. It's definitely benefits.
Bear, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, he is gonna stay silent. This is so, it's just tense. It's just like you all have the feeling in your head of just Bear being like physically tense.
I will go where the action is. It seems that our pack is not notorious, perhaps. What is the other word? Famous, well-known, renowned. We are renowned for handling large tasks successfully and not dying while doing so. But we also are known for being nomadic and moving about. If one must end so that the other can continue, I would rather continue doing the big things.
Be fair, Eyes, settling down in the Great Cairn in Vancouver is kind of a big thing.
I meant more of a... something that would get us recognized to continue our legend and grow the respect and spread our glory to the rest of the packs. Let them hear our name.
Settling in a place with so many Garu is probably a good way to get renowned. It's a bit of a legal headache if you want to hold a job or anything.
One concern for holding jobs.
Well, things still cost money.
And leeches tend to carry money with them. You take it from them, just as you do whenever you are weaker amongst your smaller cubs and packmates, and they bully you. We just do the same for leeches, and we'll not have to worry about money.
Well, Eyes, with that mentality, we've got a leech who apparently has a list of the limit of leeches that can be in the city, so...
Money?
I'd be lying if I wasn't thinking about replenishing the coffers if any of them had anything worth taking. Never thought of myself as a professional burglar before, but here we are.
It's not burglaring if you are winning it via combat. It is taking what is now rightfully yours.
That's robbery and homicide.
Only if they die and it gets reported.
Or it's at least aggravated assault. Bear chimes in.
You don't have to be aggravated to assault anyone, Bear. You can do it quite friendly.
Eyes, I've seen you assault people. It's never in a friendly fashion.
It makes me smile. That may make me sound strange.
You get Eyes as well. You do also get the sense that Bear is shaking his head at you.
I understand. I will not commit crimes unless they're absolutely necessary.
Charlie, I think the other thing that you might remember, at least money-wise, the glasswalkers always have jobs.
Yeah. Half of what we do is illegalize. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Good, then I will do crimes as I see fit.
I feel like that was not quite the takeaway Charlie meant, but I also feel like we could stop you.
As long as you stick to the crimes you know you're good at, I think we'll be okay.
Right, yes, just the things that help us do what we need to do.
If you try to branch out into like pickpocketing, I don't see that going well for you.
Are you sure?
Yes. I've seen your fingers. They are not dexterous or slender.
Is there a way to distract Charlie and take something from his pocket while doing so? Just in broad daylight right in front of him.
There is always a way. Whether you're caught is a totally different answer.
Sure.
Okay. So I want you to roll dexterity and subterfuge for perception. For Charlie, it's going to be perception alertness, which is, I'm realizing, a little bit weak for you. But it's the truth of it. Yeah, Charlie, perception alertness to 6. Eyes, dexterity, subterfuge.
Does my specialty of lightning reflexes work here?
This is not reflexes, so no.
Yeah. Okay. So you see, Charlie, you just have to make sure that whenever you are taking something from someone, you keep their eyes on something other than what's important to them. A watch is easy enough, but a lighter from a pocket, a little notebook, something like this, and he'll lift it up and then slide it right back into place, is easy enough to palm when you've got a fine distraction going.
Yeah, he took your pocket matches. So
Eyes.
basically your emergency lighters.
I am not the most observant person, and I'm used to you being around.
All the more important that the distraction be quite large, and I am the distraction.
But then, you know what?
The question is, Charlie, did you feel my fingers?
I feel like there's no answer to that I can give that works out well for either of us. So,
I almost regret asking.
almost.
Weiss is doing his damnedest to keep a straight face throughout all this.
Well, it seems that we are due to go to the hospital or send someone there, right?
Yep. Nope. We're gonna walk around for a little bit. I know where his lordship lairs, so somewhere around there, probably at least one of the people is on the vampire payroll.
Hey, how are you going to determine this?
I have two methods. One, I have a pretty good idea of the tells of vampires and their minions, and bringing twice in his supernatural nose.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Time for another emergency hospital inspection.
Yeah, can I... okay, Charlie, go ahead and roll perception vampire lore.
Sure.
That's standard.
I will go ahead and throw a point of willpower at this.
And then...
That would be 5 successes.
Okay, 5. All right. Yeah, you generally have a pretty good idea of some of them that might be ghouls. You don't exactly know which ones are tied to the prince or not.
Mhm.
But this is kind of where the supernatural nose comes in. So go ahead and roll Scent of the True Form. Bear in mind, you need 4 successes for this.
6 successes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So, with your supernatural nose, you do... you vaguely remember the scent of the prince. And you're going off the idea that a ghoul might share at least some of the same scent. And as you're going around the hospital, kind of inspection, semi-visitor passes as well, you're able to find one person in particular who definitely has the same scent.
And over Face Bear, I'll indicate that person as soon as I recognize the scent.
I will put the date and time on an index card. The time, of course, for the vampire will be 11 p.m. I will pass it to Eyes. Say, all right, Mr. Lightfingers, you have 2 tasks. Put this on him and then put him in the ER.
And it has to be in that order?
Well, you were gonna put him in the ER at range where he couldn't see you, so
That does make sense. Okay. Well,
but I tell you what, I gave you the task. Do it in whatever order you think, as long as you don't break any rules. Don't lift the veil. Don't get caught.
Eyes nods and strokes at his chin as he thinks this through. Virons.
Yes.
With shadow cutting, it does not describe how, let's say, fine-tuned the cutting is. Would it be possible to cut the date and time into the person as part of the whole use of shadow cutting?
Okay. So there's multiple things to this. For shadow cutting, you need to spit into their shadow and spend the gnosis point. You then also need to strike the shadow.
Right.
You also need to not lift the veil. Are you planning on using this in conjunction with the other shadow gift, the one that allows you to manipulate them?
Yes, so I'm thinking of using shadow weaving, and I was also, depending on where this person is at the given moment and in the direction of the sun or whatever light source there is, Eyes would also be fine with making a little bit of fire with create element, so that there is an additional shadow cast to manipulate, which means Eyes would dip heavily into his gnosis to make this work.
Yeah. So the other thing is you're in a hospital. So yeah, the hospital lights, they're the overhead lights. They create some shadow, but not really a whole lot.
Right.
If you could bring them outside, it might be a little bit better.
Yeah. And our friend here, Eyes will ask over face bare, does he smell like or look like a smoker?
The answer for the other two, no.
Gotcha. Well, that makes this a little more interesting to make it work, but that's not a problem. Getting him into a room sounds like a challenge. Getting him outside sounds like a challenge, a bigger challenge. However, getting him into a smaller room further away from other people sounds fun, but also doesn't really set up for the distance. So, Eyes would like to... What time is it, actually? What is our
It's,
time?
Let's see, about 4... I'd say it's about 8 p.m. right now.
Would Eyes be able to use Phoebe's Veil at 8 p.m.? Is it dark enough? Is it night enough for that?
Yes.
Excellent.
You're really dipping into your gnosis pool, unless you want to roll your gnosis.
That's what I'm thinking for the fetish. I'm going to roll it just to see if Eyes can manage to be invisible for this opening part. And so the plan is, Virons, is Eyes would like to go in invisible so that he's not noticed, and then torment the fuck out of this dude by walking through hallways or standing in the shadows and intimidating him out of the building, just by being that figure that probably shouldn't be there. And then once he's outside, spit on the shadow on the way by, get just a little bit further away, and then do a little shadow manipulation to bring him down and to leave a few marks. So I will roll my gnosis now for the veil.
Okay. Do that. However, Charlie, you remember your encounter with the Sombra?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Some vampires can control shadows. So if a vampire is perhaps brazen enough, they might be able to lure the ghoul outside that way. Just an idea that occurs in your mind. But Phoebe's Veil will not work for the remainder of the scene.
That's right. Eyes focuses and closes his eyes and puts the veil over, lowers it and looks down at himself and sees himself very clearly. Well, that didn't work. That's fine. I can still get in there, but if I just use the shadows to manipulate them.
Eyes, do you need some help?
Yes, I could use assistance on getting him out. That way that I may display my cunning shadow cutting prowess.
So you need to get him outside.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have recommendations?
I'll get him outside, and you need him somewhere where he's going to cast a long shadow.
Yes, that would be preferable. If not, I can stretch the shadow.
Okay. I think I can get this for you.
Okay, excellent. I believe
Twice,
I am at the ready.
Be on lookout. I don't expect this to explode into violence, at least any visible violence, but just in case.
Yep.
And I'm gonna activate persuasion.
Okay.
We're gonna do charisma subterfuge. 7. There we go. Reduce all my social difficulties by 1. And then I'm gonna approach this dude. So how's this dude dressed? Is he in scrubs? Is he in orderly stuff? What am I looking at?
Bizarrely enough, he's in a suit right now.
Does he have a hospital badge, like a lanyard, like we see everybody else wearing?
Does.
It have a name on it?
Yeah, funnily enough, it does say Charlie on it, but it's IE, not LEY.
Right. Well, this should be fun. I start to walk by him, and I turn. I say, Charlie?
Yeah? What's up?
You don't remember me, do you?
No, I don't. Should I?
It's okay. I'm the other Charlie.
Other Charlie. Hey? It's a common name.
Especially if you're a king in France. I don't mean to be a bother, but I needed to talk to you, and I'll lean in closer about your possible problems with anemia and the way you've been taking your blood transfusions. It won't take but a minute, but I may need you to step outside for just 2 minutes.
You see the color drain from his face. Sure.
Don't worry, you're not in trouble yet, but we do need to talk. He's not pleased.
Hey.
He sends me to talk to people when he's not pleased. Be glad you haven't met me before.
Okay. Yeah, let's go outside.
Come on.
Away from everybody else.
Yep.
And yeah, he heads outside with you.
And I will maneuver him under one of the halogen street lamps so that he casts a nice, long, noir-esque shadow behind him.
Yeah.
Eyes will take advantage, putting himself at the edge of that long shadow, hopefully all the way in the shadows. If maybe I can stealth it.
I will say you will be spotted if you do so. If you shadow weave it, it will be... It can definitely be hidden, more or less, at least from him.
Perfect. Then that's what Eyes will do. Seeing that the edge of the shadow isn't quite where it needs to be for him to do his magic, he'll move his hands and wave a few fingers to pull and to put a little gnosis to work, and we'll see if it works.
Okay, Charlie, look at me. Focus up. Who have you talked to today?
I mean, I'm on the ethics.
Or that.
I'm on the ethics committee. I talk to a lot of people, man.
Okay. So let's start with, who did you speak to this morning? And I'm going to keep him going on this while Eyes does his thing.
Yeah, he's going to start rattling off a few names. Eyes, you are definitely able to stretch it all the way towards you.
Excellent. Keep him going, Charlie, he says over face bear. Just distract him a little bit longer.
It was Elise and David and... Oh, God, what was that guy's name?
Which David?
So weird.
Which David?
David Morgenstein.
You talked to David Morgenstein today?
Yes.
Oh, Charlie.
He was a patient.
He was. Charlie.
Don't tell me he was a recruitment target.
Well, I don't have to tell you, do I?
Fuck.
Now you realize how much you fucked up.
What was that dice roll for?
That would essentially be the distance strike for the shadow weaving or shadow cutting. Shadow cutting does. Go ahead.
You need your claws or teeth or fetish weapons or silver.
Right. Eyes will. So, I guess that does make mention. Where would Eyes be in the situation? Would he be out of the eyes of other people so he can actually go Krynos? Or.
If you go into Krynos, you're going to be radiating a lot more rage, which will keep normies at bay.
We don't have to do that. Eyes is going to do the gross thing again. Eyes will partially transform his right hand.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's only a little weird if it's your head, I guess.
Just make the roll. Just make the roll. Yeah, no, it's just weird and gross when you're in lupus form, transforming just your head.
And that's Dex and Primal Urge, right?
Stamina Primal Urge. Difficulty 9, because it's partial.
Thank you.
Oh,
Are you gonna spend a willpower to fix that?
I think I will. I think I have to.
I will
spend one.
Heavily suggest so. For it to at least be a. You got a success, which is kind of all you needed.
That's right. Eyes manipulates his right hand into forming one of those big old lupine claws for cutting.
Yeah, it seemed to grow really out of control and then came back into its normal size, at least for your Krynos form.
Oh no, oh God, come on. Focus, okay. All right, now we've got the shadow at my feet. Let me just drag my claws right here. And he'll make a swipe.
Okay. He will not be dodging it. I want you to roll to hit just to see. Actually, no. I want you to roll just your Hamid strength.
My strength?
Just your Hamid strength.
You got it. Would this count for specialty? Of monstrous?
While you may look monstrous with that hand, I would not say this is monstrous strength.
Understood. All right, that is just 3 successes of strength.
Okay, so I want you to tell me exactly what you're attacking on the shadow. Is your plan still to carve the date, like the day and time in?
Yeah, so Eyes is going to try and manipulate the shadow to roughly where his claws can reach chest region, and that way he can just carve the date and time into his chest, and it'll present itself nice and prettily to Charlie as he's talking to him. It's just lines start to form.
Yeah, it tears through the clothing, and you're starting to see the blood pool out a little bit.
Oh boy.
What? Oh my God.
Do the dots here for the time, and then do the circle for the 0.
I didn't realize he had a Zemitzi on his payroll. What the? Okay, I gotta go. I gotta get in. I gotta get this stitched up.
Yeah, you need to go to the ER right now.
How badly hurt does he look? Like, does he look like he could handle another dose of that before he runs away?
Okay, hold on. What? Okay. What are you wanting to do?
Eyes just wants to. Eyes is a greedy person. He wants to, inflict lots of pain and problems for this person and make sure that he goes to the ER, not just his friend with a needle and a thread.
Okay, roll your Dex and Brawl.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because the shadow is gonna start moving, so you're just gonna need to be able to slightly catch up with it.
Gotcha. Okay. Dex and Brawl is gonna be 9. All right. That is 4 successes.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your Hobbit strength plus 3. Are you specifically going to try to make this lethal enough to not knock, to just draw the line before knocking him out?
Exactly, yeah. We want to really drive home the urgency of how quickly he needs to get this taken care of.
All right.
And so essentially, Eyes will just go back over the same lines to get them a little bit deeper. With 2 successes, not enough to really, kill him.
It's
3. You
three.
don't.
It's
You.
Oh, three
Yeah.
successes. Sorry.
he's not dead, but he's famed.
Perfect. That's what we were aiming for.
Yeah, you see him just stumble, like you see him kind of just at the bay of the ER door, see it happen, and then he'll kind of just barely stumble through. And Charlie, you could see, Charlie, you are the one who's able to see it more clearly, that he's like leaning and bleeding on like the counter.
We should go.
Did I get him?
You got him.
Excellent. And were the numbers clear?
I think he'll get the message.
Good. Okay, then yes, let's go. Thank you for listening to the Chicago Chronicles Under a Blood Red Moon. If you enjoy this story, please make sure to subscribe and review wherever you're listening to our podcast. You can find more of our actual plays on our website at www.hollowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hollowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible.
What are you doing now, other than, leaving the scene of your crime?
Well, that's what he gets for hanging out with a bad sort. Now we're going to head out to the east of Vancouver and try and find a place to park Winnie.
Okay. There's that campsite that you guys have been parking at. It's a little bit northeast, if anything, but it's still east. Otherwise, you gotta park on the side of a road, which in the States is technically illegal to just leave your car there.
Good thing we're in Canada.
I think is hoping as long as we're back by morning, they won't be able to get a tow truck big enough to drag her away.
But yeah,
right,
I think I would also say solidly it's probably about midnight to 1 a.m. by the time you guys get there.
That's fine. All right. So our Theurge isn't here. So which one of us is feeling particularly spiritual? That answer is never me.
I'm running a little low on the vibes, as it were, but I can take a look.
I can give it a go.
Twice. You are the bearer of the stick.
All right, time to bear my stick.
I am going to shift into Globro in order to have better running endurance and speed. Put a point of willpower on this to make sure it goes. 2 successes. And then, because I haven't got to use this yet, and it's just been sitting in Winnie this whole time, and I really hope I get to use it, even though part of me hopes I don't. I'm going to get out that cool shotgun that we took.
Sometimes you just need a little more gun.
Okay.
All right. Twice, find us a witch.
All right, what role will I be doing for this? Or is it just spend a gnosis?
I need you to spend a gnosis. If you roll your gnosis, you're essentially just attuning to it, and that takes a full night of rest.
Gotcha. So I will spend the gnosis.
Okay. So spend your gnosis, and you see, everyone can see that the stick glows and kind of has these veins of blue, and as you're holding it in your hands, it appears kind of dim.
All right. If I hold it out and try to move directions with it panning, so to speak, does it sort of react, get brighter or dimmer?
It does, but not by much. Part of the logic, part of your own logic stands to reason is that the closer you get, the brighter it'll be, giving you a clearer direction of where to go.
Yep. So I will take what little hint I can glean from the minute change and suggest we move in that direction.
All right. Twice, let's go for about an hour. If you feel like we're not making good time, go ahead and take wolf form and go ahead of us.
Got it.
If he shifts into wolf form, is your idea just to have him hold it in his muzzle?
Yeah. Like a stick you fetch.
Okay.
Only in this case, the stick is doing the fetching.
Yeah.
But for the first hour, eyes will remain on foot in Hamid form.
Yes, I will.
Or twice.
Everyone but Charlie is staying in Hamid.
Yep.
Okay. So, as you two, or sorry, fuck, twice. You're now blended into eyes, apparently. So you keep fucking making mistakes. Now I am too. God damn it.
Twice lived in the dark.
That would be a great combination deed name. However, you are making your way through kind of every once in a while swerving back and forth and adjusting your course of direction accordingly. Can I have you roll perception survival in total?
Indeed. Standard difficulty?
Yes.
4 successes.
Nice.
Okay. As you keep walking and moving and swerving once in a while, swerving around every once in a while, just to make sure you're still heading in the right direction, you notice that there are every time you face a direction and point it down, the color shifts from blue to this kind of dark green, like a dark teal.
All right, so it's starting to shift shade towards green.
When you point it at the ground, so like when you dangle it down at the ground.
All right, until say over face bear. Not sure what the color change means exactly, but it's an indication of the better direction to go. Seems like we might need to head underground. Is there a sewer system or anything?
You're in the woods.
I'd have to find a cave.
I am going to spend a point of gnosis to activate cyber senses and turn my eyes infrared.
Okay. When you do that, nothing is standing out in particular, but you do see just a tad bit better, or at least your companions a tad bit better.
Yep.
And then twice, whenever you the next time you stop and pan around, when you face Charlie, it goes from blue to bright green.
All right.
Well, I'm not the witch.
No.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that green means gnosis or something like it.
Makes sense.
Could I roll my occult, maybe, or rituals?
Yeah, go ahead and roll intelligence occult.
Oof. I'm gonna spend a willpower to re-roll those 2. Alrighty, so that'll actually be 3 successes.
Okay, so Gnosis wouldn't necessarily have a color. However, it would... You kind of guess, using your own logic. Blue, you believe, is taking you towards the witch. Teal is at the ground. You don't necessarily know what teal means, but the dark teal means. But bright green, and it kind of looks like that vibrant, healthy green pointed at Charlie, who just activated the gift, probably might mean the wild.
All right. Then, following that train of thought, he will try to angle it so that it is more of a blue, or directing their path. I think I'm onto something. Got to keep it as blue as possible.
Why do we make the stick sad?
Okay, we're going to make a pact right now. None of us is going to tell JB how much we struggled with the magic stick, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. You get the sense that Bear hears you, but does not
Bear?
agree.
Don't snitch.
You get the feeling of side-eye.
There. Please respect the pack as we respect you.
Either way, we only got 4 hours on this thing, so
Let's use them.
To the best of his ability, Twice will be moving towards more blue.
All right. And as you do so, you draw closer and closer. And tell it, like, this thing is, like, now providing its own light source, which is slightly irritating to Charlie's now infrared eyes. And for Twice and Eyes, both of you see a very dense thicket. Charlie, you don't see
Yes.
anything. You see the path still clear.
Looks like a dead end.
what?
There's a shrubbery thicket, something in the way.
It's not giving off any sort of heat signature at all.
It's a shrub. They don't generate heat,
They do a little.
do they? I will have to read about this.
Well, I mean, it looks like it might be difficult to pass through, but probably muscle through it.
Okay, hang on. We're in the. I presume we're in the wild woods now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up a rock.
Okay.
I chuck it
You're
in the
gonna-
thicket.
Charlie, you see it pass through. The rest of you see it kind of like land in it and is then stuck.
You threw a rock into the bushes.
Yeah, from where I'm standing, it didn't hit anything.
All right.
Perhaps
see
you should
you two
work on your
clearly.
aim.
Well, hold on. And Twice is gonna make his way forward and just kind of see if he can make it to where the rock landed, whether he has to force his way through or not.
Can I have you roll stamina and your current willpower?
80. Standard difficulty?
Stamina and current willpower.
4 successes.
Nice.
There. You struggle and your mind hurts as you feel like you're pushing through, but you do eventually make your way through.
Nice. Where did you go?
Twice, on the other side, you see of it's a clearing. It's just this pure clearing with a bizarre amount of moonlight coming through.
And would he have noted that it was particularly mentally challenging to get through the thicket?
Yeah.
And he's just going to say over Phase Bear now because he's keeping an eye out to make sure nothing saw him come through. All right, that's not normal at all. That might be something and he's actually going to pause, look at the rod, aim at the thicket directly now that he's on the other side of it. See if it changes color at all compared to anything else.
So when you were like pointing away from the thicket, it was bright blue. And when you spun around at that like 90-degree mark, that halfway, it was kind of that dim where you started blue, where it was kind of weak, but it's still showing this is a magical area. And then at
But
the
it's not
thicket,
going
it's
to
that. Yeah, and then at the thicket, it's bright blue again. Are you going to aim it at the ground as well?
Yeah, he's going to do a test to the ground, see if it still pops up teal when he does.
This is also bright blue.
And he's going to... Okay. I don't know if it's the thicket's not real or if it's something being made to look like something else, but this ain't normal. Everything here is blue.
Eyes. Go to Krynos now. I'm gonna
Understood.
walk forward and join Twice. So I presume I saw Twice like basically struggle against the air.
Yeah, you saw him struggle against the air. You're going to walk through.
Yep.
I
Gonna walk
also
up to
need
join
you to roll
Twice.
stamina and your current willpower.
You betcha.
And Weiss is going to try to cover some willpower with the Strength of Purpose gift, so I just need a little stamina and rituals.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's you said standard difficulty?
Yep. It is just as mentally taxing for you as it was for Weiss. It's uncomfortable, it's unnatural, and it's even weirder for you because you don't see it. It somehow feels like you're actually pushing through it, but you know it's not there. It's just an illusion. It feels like something is actively trying to trick your mind into believing something is there.
Okay. We have actually come to talk, but if you're gonna dick us around with illusionary woodland groves, I'm just gonna start spraying the shotgun in random directions and see what happens.
When you do look at the ground beneath your feet, it is radiating heat, not in response to what you said, but it is radiating its own heat. In response to what you said, though, the ground will start to rumble ever so slightly. Eyes, are you walking through the thicket as well?
Now that they've gone, had a little second, yeah, eyes will follow in Krynos.
Okay. Same roll, stamina, current willpower, standard difficulty.
Yeah. Does Unbreakable count for this?
No.
No problem. All right, that is 4 successes.
All of you have rolled 4 successes on this. Okay. Yep, you get the same amount of struggle as they did. It feels weird, unnatural. Eyes, as you make your way through, perhaps you're the one to first notice. There is part of the ground now that it's rumbling. You see a hole start to kind of like form up, form beneath Weiss. Perhaps not intentionally. You don't know, but Eyes, you notice it first, and then Charlie, and then twice.
Eyes will point it out. Watch your foot.
Twice move to make sure that he doesn't get caught.
And as you do so, you see the ground kind of start to slowly spread, and then you have this hole, and then you see it kind of like start to like spread into this staircase like pattern that then goes into a spiral. And it's very slow.
It's going.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, what is going on?
I think this is the welcome hole.
I think so too. I'm gonna take a turn to concentrate and activate Ep8's blessings. I'll throw a point of willpower at this. Ooh. So my next use of a tool, very likely my shotgun, will be a -4 difficulty.
Okay. The minimum for Roll to Darkness is 3. So it's going to be the next technology thing, if it is your shotgun, is going to be at diff 3.
Perfect.
Okay. And after a few minutes of the staircase forming in this spiral, if you guys are following it down, it does open up into this open doorway. And there is candlelight and a fire going with lots of crystals around.
If she's about to tell us it's dangerous to go alone and hand us a sword, I've played this
You already
game.
have one. You already have one. Eyes gets this one.
I'll use it well. Still prefer my claws.
Hello?
It is as if the air has been sucked out of the room. The fire is still going, but all of you feel like you have had the wind knocked out of you as a woman makes her way out into the open where you all can see her, and she is absolutely stunning looking.
What is this?
Are we having difficulty breathing?
No,
Okay.
it's more just this minor effect that she's doing to make her entrance even more elegant.
Gotcha.
So, 3 werewolves decide to come into my area. Why?
Lydia Ashworth.
I don't know who that is. Everyone give perception empathy.
Everything?
diff 7.
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
3 successes.
2 successes.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll my gnosis to activate my truth hearing.
Yeah. Please do.
I'll actually use Truth of Gaia to see if they are telling the truth.
I'm gonna wait for the gnosis roll. Okay. As is apparent to all of you, just plainly without use of gifts or fetishes, yeah, she's bullshitting you. When you activate your truth hearing, it immediately starts buzzing.
Okay. I'm going to try this again. What is your relationship to Lydia Ashworth?
I don't know a Lydia Ashworth, but if I did, it would be a working relationship.
Why are you working with Lydia? Theoretically.
Theoretically, it gives me some bonuses to what I do.
Ogre Face Bear. I'm going to tell Twice and Eyes cover your ears.
So, brace his hands over his ears.
Vice will follow suit.
And then I'm going to put a shotgun blast through a bunch of her crystals.
Holy fuck! I'm not going to make you roll for that. Your Ape's Craft's blessing is not going to be wasted on that.
Yeah. No, we're not doing this.
Jesus fuck! Was that necessary?
It wasn't until you decided to treat us like we were stupid.
Okay, that is not my intended goal. My intended goal is being anonymous.
Well, I regret to inform you your anonymity has been revoked. We know you have some sort of working relationship with her, and we're here to try and persuade you to whatever assistance you are providing her to withhold it for a few days.
Okay. I understand that your kind isn't really going to... Specifically you, just given what you did, you aren't going to take no for an answer. However, can I perhaps give you reasons why I can't?
Sure.
Hey, she asked me to help strike a bargain with Neptune. And it's Incarna, Shantar. Okay? And if I renege out of that, then I have the power of a Celestine coming down on me. And I can't handle that. Okay, because I'm the only one of my group out here. Okay? I know that I have enemies, common enemies, which is part of the reason why we partnered, me and her partnered up. We have common enemies in the city and outside of the city. And when she mentions outside of the city, your earring starts buzzing ever so slightly.
You should know. Every time you lie, I know it. Every time.
God damn it. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, maybe not outside of the city, but it's... I know you and I and our groups have common enemies. You might not know them by this name, but the Technocracy are in the city. Okay? And they're the ones who fucked all that shit up. Okay? They're the ones that fucked all the shit up.
They build the casino?
Yeah. Well, no, not... I mean, I don't... It's likely that they did.
Technocracy.
Yes.
Give me some rope here. Officious looking types wear suits.
Uncreative? I don't know. They're uncreative. Okay, look. All I was told is that these people in suits that she said were from the Technocracy. Mind you, I don't exactly know how she knows that term, at least for me. I don't understand how she knows the term in my circles for that, but she did. Okay? She said the Technocracy were in the city and that she needed help. And, well, she also needed a bit of bait to draw them out a bit more. Which, mind you, I realize now was a bit foolish because it led you all here. I was just going off the fact that nobody would ever know or even try to push through the thing that is supposed to hurt your minds. That came out worse than I thought.
Yeah.
That's all right. It is the part of us that we value the least. So your concern, if you withhold your assistance from her, is that she's going to turn around and the Celestine that has her back is going to come after you.
Oh, I know it is. And she's wearing this kind of this whole like shawl over herself and with some sleeves, and she's gonna like pull up the sleeve on her right arm, and you see that it is mangled, and it looks like it was frostbitten, but was able to recover, but leave like scars all over it. Believe it or not, I've tried, and I had to very quickly stop trying to not help her. A lot of double negatives there, but hopefully you understand what I mean. If I don't help her, if I don't keep what she did hidden and part of who she, I don't know why she wanted the name gone. Okay, I don't know, but she did. If I don't keep that up, this is gonna happen, and eventually it's gonna be gone. And then it's gonna spread, and I'm gonna be gone. I don't want that. Okay? I don't.
So you're hiding her name.
You didn't know that?
Well, I pieced it together.
Oh, God.
Al thinks slow and Al thinks long.
Oh, God, I'm gonna get it now. I'm gonna have to move cities. God, I'm gonna
No,
lose his arm.
You're not. Because she's not going to be around to take revenge.
What are you gonna do then? You're gonna kill her?
Probably.
Good luck. She probably already knows you visited me. After they talked, after Shantar agreed to help her, it's like they had their own immense talk in, and then when she came out, she knew things that there couldn't have been any way for her to know.
She has a talent for digging around in people's heads and for wandering through their dreams, apparently.
She already had that before. What I'm saying is, I never gave her my real name, and she knew it. She knew my true name.
And you know hers.
It's gone. All I know, I don't know it. All I know is that I need to do something to make sure that a name is gone. And I know it's her name. She did. I don't get her. I don't get how she did what she did or why she's done what she's done. But I don't know the name either. I know that if I try to stop doing this ritual, this happens. I can't go through that.
Okay.
I just want to leave. I don't want this slow degeneration. I just want to leave. I want to go back to the rest of my coven.
But you can't because you have to stay and maintain this ritual.
Yeah. To stay, and I have to maintain it, and I have to. I can't even be with my followers either. They can't even come down here because they suffer too much anguish.
Anguish.
The thing that hurts your minds. They're not like us. My followers aren't like us.
What? But what? No, I know what anguish is. Why do they suffer for coming here?
No, your minds. They can't push through like you or I can.
Okay.
For the same reason that I can withstand that, as she points to eyes, and they can't.
Okay. So let me see if I have this straight. The assistance you are providing to her is to maintain this ritual that keeps her name hidden.
Yeah. Hidden.
Is there... Go on.
It's hidden. There's a spirit who watches. Presumably it's the one who knows the name, but it's not here now. It just visits from time to time. It visits whenever the ritual needs to be done.
Charlie smiles a little.
Ice tries to communicate, forgetting that he is fully in Krynos.
Do you know the spirit's name?
No, I don't speak their language.
What does it look like?
It looks like a man with a painted face, but well, it's painted, but in the way that it's like completely covered. But obviously there was something there. Otherwise, it looks like a man, and this. Well, the times where it's clearest, it looks like it's in this black, as childish as it may sound, onesie. Just one article of clothing.
A man with face paint and pajamas?
Kind of.
That would have had to have been over face paint.
Oh, that would have been... Oh, okay.
Again, eyes is fully
Okay.
in Krynos, yeah.
Do you do anything else for her?
Well, there was this place on Vancouver Island that she had me open up for her.
You did that. Okay.
She said she needed a home away from a home. I mean, I get it. Families can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah, organizationally, we don't like it when people tap into the well just for their own private purposes.
It doesn't go well. It doesn't really go over well with the Hermetics or the Shakafranti.
I'm going to pretend I knew what those words meant.
You guys
Nope,
have
don't worry
You
about
guys have tribes. We have traditions.
I slowly nods his big ol' head.
Look, okay, I don't mean to be rude, but what's with his eyes?
He was born that way.
Well, he was born with balefire eyes.
Yeah.
Here, boy, come over here.
Eyes quirks his head at the boy come over here. He rumbles, but he will take a step forward.
It's probably only going to be a temporary fix, but you're just going to have to trust me.
You might want to ask him if he wants you to do whatever you're about to do first.
You'll appreciate it, trust me. She holds a hand over your snout, and takes a few deep breaths in, and she puts a hand, like her left hand, on her chest, and it looks like she's drawing this thread to your eyes. And let me see if I can make this roll decently well. Okay. As the other two see her do this, the fire that is in eyes normally seems to dim down and be so minor. And perhaps this is maybe the first time you ever see like a natural eye color on him. Still, it's a green natural color, but the fire is diminished.
Over face bear, eyes, are you all right?
Eyes will squint. Did the vision change at all? Do I see anything? Are the darks darker again? What's going on here?
Darks are darker again because, I mean, with the fire you can see in the dark, but now that the fire's dimmed, it's a little bit harder.
Losing vision, losing who I am. Low eyes. How are my eyes in the dark?
This will probably only last for a day. It's really quite taxing to do this.
And you should have asked before you did it.
I've got plenty of stats to do it, but I've only got a little bit of willpower left.
To do what?
I'm considering partially transforming just the head again, just to make it easier to converse, and
You
also
can just do
because-
your throat.
Yeah, but that's not as fun. Yeah, Eyes is gonna try and shift his head to his Hamid version, and is curious both to see if the glow is gone from that form, as well as to communicate with this person. So let's see if he can do it. If that's all right with you, Byron.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you here. I presented the more sensible option. It seems that you don't want to take it, so go ahead. I also insert the...
No!
Oh. Do you want to at least willpower so you don't botch?
Yeah, I have to.
He botched and it became permanent. That would be terrifying.
It's not a botch, at least.
It's not a botch, just a failure.
Eyes flexes and concentrates really hard to try and shift his head, and all he does is his ears wiggle and squints. And he just slumps his shoulders.
Look, I probably should have asked, but at least you'll seem a bit more normal to your kind now. At least you won't face that stigma for a day. I mean, there are some people like myself who've been marked in similar ways, especially in, less fortunate circumstances, and they're often excluded on the run because of it. Mind you, I don't know you all that well, but I don't want that to happen to any of you. I was desperate when I was helping her. But I wanted.
Feels a little awkward for this person, so he just reaches over and, with his big old guru hand, pats them on the shoulder.
She flinches slightly, but is okay with it. Because, giant werewolf hand.
He's just trying to return the favor of comfort, even though it's a different level.
Yeah. I was desperate. I was new and near Edmonton. I had, lupine friends, and she was the first one I met. I wanted to make a good impression, and I guess I'm easily manipulated.
Well, I think it's safe to say you made a good impression on her. She found you very useful.
It'd be a big favor if you did get rid of her. Do promise to make some penance to all the lupine that I've heard out here. I don't even know what the rest of the population looks like.
Okay, just for my own clarification, you don't do any, other than sustaining the ritual, you don't do anything for her on like a daily basis, anything to give her more power, more protection, anything like that?
No, she hasn't been here in a few weeks now, actually.
Okay.
Ever since we set up the trap for the technocracy. Or, well, I guess the bait.
What was the bait?
She wanted help looking for like a spiritual marker within the city. And then when I found it, she dismissed me and said that this would be perfect bait for them.
What was the marker?
Well, he said it was near where they were building the casino. You said the technocracy was building the casino, so guessing whatever you all found near the casino. I know it radiated heat and some hate for our reality, but other than that, I really don't know.
Virens, is there anything that would match that description other than that cracked seal that we found that was there?
Heat could be a fire elemental. You already know that the Volnus consisted of a firmling, which is a corrupted fire elemental, and a nexus crawler, which, to put in the simplest of terms like she did, nexus crawlers kind of hate reality because they eat it.
So, not a spiritual marker. Did she have you summon a spiritual marker or a spirit?
She didn't have me summon, she had me look for it. She said she was all tapped out for the day, which, isn't totally unheard of. I did have this, I think they call themselves a, oh god, what was it? It was a stargazer. That's what it was. They were all tapped out and they couldn't do any more because it wouldn't be in balance for the universe if they did more. I assumed it was something like that. Do you guys not get tapped out like that? To where you can't see into the spirit worlds?
Nice bobs his head from side to side.
It's different.
She kind of looks at Charlie and waits for an answer from him.
Over face bare eyes will ask, Charlie, twice, does her knowing break the veil?
If it did, it's safe to say Ashworth broke it a while ago.
Technically, you would be breaking it since you're in Kranos right now.
Right.
Just to put that out there.
Yep.
But she's not affected by delirium. So if there was a veil for her, it would have been lifted a long time ago. Do you guys... Look, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't want to go through this pain again. She looks down at her arm. I don't want it to get worse.
You won't have to.
Okay.
And over face bearer, twice.
Charlie?
I need a ruling philodox. Can we let her live?
Okay. Aronoth, what questions do you have for me?
I was actually going to see if I could just roll would it be law or rituals to determine whether or not anything needed to be done about the knowledge that she has, or if perhaps we should be aiming it at Ashworth as the primary breaker, because there are probably things that I as a player don't know that Twice would know.
Roll wits and... Is law actually on this? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, roll wits and law.
Right.
Too
And I will
many
be
systems.
spending a willpower on this.
Okay.
Standard difficulty?
Yes.
5 successes.
Okay. So there's a few things here. She is clearly a mage. She has clearly done something bad for her own kind and yours, but she didn't know she was being manipulated into doing so by someone who might be corrupted by the worm from all intents and purposes now that you're looking at it, or is beginning to be was beginning to be corrupted by the worm or the Weaver in this case. Mages serve the Weaver typically because they enforce their will onto reality. She didn't harm you. She unintentionally harmed others as well. So I think with all this information, you have all the information that Twice would have in his own head now. This is probably what the vision that you had. This is similar to the vision that you had when you first got the Iron Hammer, and also the vision from Bear. This is a very gray area.
And Twice is gonna be silent for a few moments as he thinks about everything. Charlie, when she was saying that she's willing to do what she can to make amends for the harm that she's caused, did your earring go off?
It did not.
No.
Well, considering what she is, maintaining the veil is as much her prerogative as it is ours, even if she doesn't look at it the same way. So, her knowing what she knows, well, it's a problem that Ashworth told her, especially since it seems like she did it on her own. I don't think it's a problem we need to solve by killing her. And I think giving her the opportunity to atone would be worth it for the pack and the city. Especially if she's an enemy of this technocracy, which sounds like it might be that special division we've been looking for.
I think so, yeah. Okay. All right. When do you have to renew this ritual again?
In a few days.
Okay. Well, in a few days, this will all be over, one way or another.
Okay.
What's your name?
Do you mind if I not give that out? Can you just call me Crystal Lady? I really don't want to.
Is there a name I could give Lydia Ashworth that she will recognize?
Please don't.
Okay. Let me explain. What she has done to you violates several of our laws. I'm going to call her out in front of Gaia and everybody, but I need her to know that we know.
We'll be making sure she doesn't come back here to take it out on you.
Eyes mimics pulling the head off of a figure, as if to demonstrate what may happen.
Over face bear, Eyes, we really got to work on how you comfort people.
She looks slightly mortified, but she understands.
It takes a second for Eyes to understand why that seems more intimidating for her than comforting, but he'll get there.
Delphine Summers. That's a name that she would know me by.
Okay. All right, then. Sit tight. Probably day after tomorrow, a spirit or a Garu will be by to let you know what happens next.
Okay.
Over Face Bear, Eyes will ask, just in general, if there is a ritual that can hide a name, is there a ritual that gives names or can change one?
Do we need ST knowledge here?
That was Eyes asking the group at large because he doesn't really know much about rituals and rites.
I have no idea, Eyes.
With 3 dots and rituals, would I have an idea?
The rite of passage gives you a deed name. Deed names for Garu could... again, this is kind of coming out of a multi-slat knowledge. D-name Sargaru could technically be considered a true name, or part of the true name.
Interesting. And then Eyes will clarify his question with, if we can change or cover someone's true name, we could give them a very hard time. If we give them a very bad one. But it feels like that will not be necessary for this particular individual.
No, but it's a good thought to keep in your back pocket for later.
Yes, my Shadow Lord senses were tingling.
All right, Crystal Lady. My apologies for being a little hard on the architecture.
It's kind of fine.
Sit tight. Things may work out in your favor. Have a good night.
Okay. And I think with that, it is a perfect place for us to end today. Thank you for listening to Under a Blood Red Moon, a Werewolf the Apocalypse actual play by Hallowed Haven Studios. Storytelling for this actual play is provided by Virons. Junkyard Bitch is played by Bloody Porcelain, Fangbanger by Bookkeeper, Eyes in the Dark by Gavin Cash, Twice Lived by Aeronoth. Our intro music is Astral Body by Ace. Our art is by Altior, or DEOBU0400. Editing is by Termite.